Layton Park. And here at this park, we are only 5 minutes away from the Hudson Yacht Club. And in the 60s, it was a place where French kids did not belong. It was an exclusive place that didn't give space for the minorities in the area. And Jack Layton was a member of the club when he was a teenager. He felt the pain of the exclusion of his Francophone friends. And he saw injustice, and so he decided to fight it. He found a rule book that as a junior Commodore, he could invite a friend. So he came up with this scheme with his Francophone friends and invited every one of his Francophone friends, and they had a grand party. And that was the annual party here at Hudson Yacht Club. And I can just imagine young Jack making me, it just makes me smile thinking of him at that age, already with the instinct to lift people up, to fight injustice and discrimination. I too felt excluded. I came to Canada when I was 13, barely speak much English, still learning. I felt lost and excluded, and I was alone. And 30 years being in public service, something that still happened to me, even though I represented Canada overseas as a member of Parliament. During a minority debate recently, a few years ago, I was told to go back to China, and I didn't even come from China. Imagine now, a different child in grade 4, bullied relentlessly, insulted, punched, assaulted, mocked, taunted, bashed, because of the way he looked, because of his religion, because of his skin color. And instead of his heart growing hard, he grew up hopeful, loving, and determined to fight injustice and carry out that fight with compassion, with love, and even with joy. He's the leader of NDP, Jagmeet Singh. Jagmeet gives people hope. He gives young people hope for a better future, for their planet. He gives families hope for better times ahead. He gives everyone who feels the pain of discrimination and exclusion hope. We've all felt excluded, whether we are too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, or who we love, how we worship, the color of our skin, our gender. It didn't matter, or even from the wrong side of the town or the village. I'm here in Hudson today where it began for Jack Layton, saying to Canadians and Quebecois, follow your heart and vote for a truly progressive movement. Follow and have the courage to vote for a government that's in it for you. And every vote for the NDP is a declaration that we all belong because we support each other. Jack, Jack told Canadians, don't let them tell you it can't be done. So go find a friend who feels excluded, who feels alienated, who feels it doesn't make a difference, and feel powerless, and ask him or her to join this wonderful movement of progressives. I'm also here because the legacy of Jack Layton is being carried out by a wonderful, courageous, compassionate leader, my good friend, Jagmeet Singh.
Well, I did not expect that. I want to say thank you to Olivia for being here. That was really sweet. Merci to the team. The team is amazing. We've got an incredible team. Let's show some love to this team. Ils sont incroyables. On est tellement fiers d'avoir une équipe comme ça avec nous. C'est incroyable. Et en fait, on est ici pour rappeler un peu de la rêve de Jack Layton. En 2011, beaucoup de gens sont tombés en amour avec Jack Layton. Beaucoup de gens au Québec. Et en fait, si je suis honnête, moi aussi, un petit peu plus jeune, Jagmeet Singh a été séduit par Jack Layton. Les gens ont été séduits par pas seulement sa personnalité, mais par son authenticité, mais aussi par ses valeurs. Ses valeurs de lutter contre les inégalités sociaux et pour défendre la planète et défendre notre environnement. En fait, c'est grâce à Jack si l'NDP occupe une telle place dans les cœurs des Québécois et Québécoises. Et c'est grâce à lui, en fait, que je suis ici en politique maintenant. Alors, aujourd'hui, nous voulons souligner ce lien et on veut aller de l'avant avec cette inspiration. Au début de cette élection, nos adversaires souhaitaient que les gens se limitent à mon apparence. Malheureusement pour eux, nos édits ont répondu aux inquiétudes de beaucoup de gens. Une assurance médicaments universelle, des soins dentaires gratuits, que les ultra-riches payent leur juste part et bien sûr et évidemment un engagement fort de lutter contre la crise climatique. Les gens ont vu, entendu et comparé les options. J'ai aussi démontré que malgré les impressions, les Québécois et moi, nous partageons les mêmes valeurs. Tout comme vous, je crois fermement à la liberté des choix des femmes, au droit de mourir dans la dignité, à la séparation de l'Église et l'État et, bien sûr, au mariage même sexe. Alors que la campagne est presque finie et je fais aujourd'hui mon dernier arrêt au Québec, je dois dire que j'ai été vraiment touché par la réaction des gens d'ici. Merci de m'avoir écouté. Comme vous, j'ai espoir que nous pourrons faire mieux dans la prochaine Parlement. Mais ce sera possible seulement avec un grand nombre de députés néo-démocrates et une équipe forte du Québec. S'il y avait encore des doutes, le gouvernement Trudeau a prouvé durant cette campagne qu'il n'a pas le courage ni la conviction de travailler pour vous. Il ne mérite plus votre confiance. Il ne se bat pas pour vous. Et dans des belles paroles en public, c'est vrai, mais en privé, il travaille pour les plus riches, il travaille pour les grands pollueurs. Du côté du Bloc, les révélations des dernières semaines sont dérangeantes. Bien que le Bloc accueille des candidats et candidates de qualité, il y a aussi plusieurs des candidats et candidates qui ont des idées politiques troublantes. Ce n'est pas ça un parti progressiste. C'est pour ces deux raisons que nous pouvons sans aucune gêne dire que pour le 21 octobre, le choix progressiste, c'est le NPD. Parce que nous allons nous battre contre la crise climatique pour rendre la vie plus abordable et pour que les riches payent leur juste part. Parce que les progressistes, c'est nous. Again, I want to thank everyone. Je veux remercier toute l'équipe qui est ici. Merci encore, Olivia. I want to thank just again, Olivia, for being here. And I want to take a moment just to talk about being here at the park Jack Layton. It's an inspiration. Jack was someone that was able to win over the hearts of Canada, Canadians, win over the hearts of Quebecers. And he did that not just with his personality, which was pretty amazing, and not with just his ability to connect with people, but because of his values of fighting social injustice and to defend our planet and the environment. And we want to build on that. We want to build on that dream that Jack had to connect the progressives of Quebec with those across Canada and build a better future together. So our priorities in this election have been really clear. We want to fight the climate crisis like we want to win it. We want to make sure we deliver better services, invest in healthcare, medication coverage for all, dental care, and services so that life is more affordable. We want to make sure that the very rich, those at the very, very top, pay their fair share. And I wanted to make it clear in Quebec that, despite maybe differences of appearances, I share the same values. I believe firmly in a woman's right to choose. I believe in not just talking about the right to abortion, but in defending and expanding access to those services. I believe firmly in the rights for LGBTQ communities to love who they love, to marry who they want to marry. I want to make sure that people can die in dignity, and I want to continue to make sure that there's a clear separation between church and state, something that I believe in. And I'm proud to say I think Quebecers are seeing that I share their values. And I think it's also clear that Quebecers are seeing that the Liberals don't share their values. Over the past 4 years and during this campaign, it's become really clear that there's a lot that the Liberals like to say in public, there's a lot that Mr. Trudeau likes to say in public. But in private, behind closed doors, he meets with the powerful lobbyists and caters their demands and continues to subsidize oil and gas companies, continues to give big exemptions to the biggest polluters, and continues to choose the pharmaceutical lobbyists and the insurance lobbyists and their priorities over people who need medication and better health care. And the Bloc has also made it clear that they're not the choice for progressives. With their candidates, some great candidates, but with the candidates recently and the revelations that we've learned about them and the really weak response by the leader and by those candidates, it shows that they're not the progressive option for Quebecers. And so I want to put it to Quebecers like this. If you want someone who's going to fight the climate crisis, who's going to stand up for you, who's going to make sure we make life more affordable, who's going to invest in health care, invest in dental care and medication coverage for all, and make sure that the people at the very, very top, the richest, pay their fair share, the progressive option for Quebecers is us, the New Democrats. Donc, merci encore, merci infiniment, and I'm ready to take your questions. Thank you so much.
Bonjour,
oui.
Bonjour, M. Singh, Christian Noël de Radio-Canada. Le Québec semble important pour vous.
Oui, bien sûr.
C'est votre dernière visite de la campagne ici. Vous avez passé à peu près 12% de vos événements au Québec dans une province qui représente 23% des sièges. Pourquoi, en proportion, avez-vous passé si peu de temps au Québec durant cette élection?
Vous avez fait votre devoir, hein? C'est incroyable ça. En fait, c'est un grand pays. Et les décisions de où on est, où on va, c'est difficile de prendre. Mais on a voulu avoir une campagne nationale, une campagne où on essaie assez que possible, aussitôt que possible, de connecter avec les gens. On est fiers de notre campagne parce que ce qu'on a fait pendant cette campagne, c'est de montrer qu'on se bat pour les gens. On ne travaille pas pour les plus riches. On ne veut pas continuer avec les exemptions pour les grands pollueurs. Ce qu'on veut faire, c'est de dire aux jeunes qui se manifestent dans les rues qu'on est là pour vous, on va se battre pour vous, pour défendre un environnement, pour s'assurer le respect et le juste part. Et je suis fier de ce qu'on a accompli pendant cette campagne.
Donc c'est juste ça, c'est difficile,
c'est la planification, c'est toujours un grand défi, mais je suis fier de notre campagne et de ce qu'on a réussi à montrer que les gens peuvent compter sur nous de lutter pour tous les enjeux, pour se battre pour eux et pour lutter contre la crise climatique.
Je pense que c'est la première fois que je vous entendais ce matin de dire que parmi vos valeurs, il y a la séparation de l'Église et de l'État. Pourquoi est-ce que dans la campagne, à ce moment-ci, vous sentez le besoin de dire que vous croyez en la séparation de l'Église et de l'État?
C'est quelque chose que j'ai dit souvent. Je l'ai dit souvent pendant beaucoup des scrums, donc c'est quelque chose de normal. Mais c'est quelque chose qui est tellement important pour moi parce que les institutions qui doivent être séparées entre l'Église et l'État, c'est tellement important de renforcer cette principe et c'est pour moi quelque chose, comme avocat, comme quelqu'un qui lutte pour les droits de la personne, c'est tellement important.
Hi, Mr. Singh. Kevin Gallagher, CTV National News.
Hey, Kevin.
Along those lines, you also mentioned in the speech leading up that you may look different. How much of a challenge has it been, and it continues to be, for you in this province, given the fact that you wear a turban in your faith?
Well, I mean, I grew up in places across this country, and I've had amazing people that have been warm and generous and loving, and I faced people that have, in some cases, bullied me or attacked me because I look different. And I didn't grow up in Quebec. I mean, Olivia touched on the fact that it's a reality for a lot of Canadians that because of how they look, it could be their appearance, it could be the color of their skin, it could be where they live, where they come from, that people face a lot of challenges. And I faced some of them myself. But I hope people in Canada, across this country, can see in me someone who's experienced a little bit of what they face, and that's willing to fight hard to build a Canada where no one faces barriers because of who they are.
This is your last stop in the province and your final pitch to Quebec voters. How do you differentiate your type of progressive politics from the politics that Justin Trudeau is currently telling Canadians the government they need is a progressive government to fight the Conservatives? What is the differentiating factor that people will see?
That we are actually progressive.
It's lovely. It's a lovely soundbite. I appreciate that, sir. But I think a lot of Canadians
I'll give you the follow-up to it.
No, but they're trying to figure out what does this mean? What do these progressive values mean?
Sure.
Is that something that I identify?
Yeah,
with?
sure.
You know what I mean? I think that is.
No, I
it's
agree
a great
with you.
soundbite, sir. But
I wanted the soundbite first, but yeah, no, I got you. Or I just wanted it to sound catchy, and then I want to give you the deep one. No, I mean really, what Mr. Trudeau has done, and I mean this so firmly. He said a lot of nice things. He said a lot of nice things in 2015, but there's a really clear pattern of behavior. It's not one time; it's multiple times where he promises something that would help people out, and he does the opposite. He makes a commitment to do something to defend the environment, but then does the opposite. And I just want to make those examples really clear. He said very clearly in 2015 that he would end the subsidies for oil and gas. He promised that in 2015. Well, what happened in 4 years? His government met with the oil and gas lobbyists 1,500 times. And I want to be clear, meeting with lobbyists isn't the problem. It's when you listen to them over people. It's when you break your promises to defend the environment after meeting with the lobbyists. That's the problem. And that's what Mr. Trudeau does. He's got a very different reality, what he says in public and what he does in private. He says he's going to lower the cost of medication, and he meets with the pharmaceutical and the lobbyists for the insurance companies, and he breaks a commitment, a simple no-cost commitment that would have lowered the cost of medication. The only reason I can imagine he did that was because he wanted to protect the profits of the pharmaceutical industry. That to me is wrong. He is not a progressive because he does not fight for people. He fights for the powerful and the wealthy, yes. He gives them $14 billion in tax breaks. When families are saying we can't find housing, he spends 19% less than the Conservatives on housing. So it's really clear. He says nice things, but he does the opposite. And we have so many examples. He is not in it for people. He is not fighting for people. What he is fighting for is power. He wants to stay prime minister, that's sure. But he's not actually going to make people's life better. The difference is we are fighting for people. We're in it for people. We want to make their lives better. And every decision we make is going to put people at the heart of it and make sure that we're deciding to do things that invest in them, not in the rich and powerful, but fighting for people.
En français, là-dessus, pourquoi les progressistes, c'est nous, vous pensez que ça va marcher au Québec?
Parce que c'est vrai. Le progrès, c'est nous. Donc, la vérité, ça marche. C'est bizarre, mais oui, c'est vrai, ça marche. Mais en fait, la raison, c'est si on évalue le bilan de M. Trudeau, il donne des belles paroles, c'est vrai, j'admets ça. c'est clair. Plusieurs fois, elle a dit des belles choses, des bonnes paroles, des belles paroles. Mais ce qu'elle dit et ce qu'elle fait, c'est différent. C'est en fait l'opposé. Elle a dit, je vais annuler les subventions pétrolières. Ce qu'elle a fait, les continuer et on peut dire, les augmenter. Elle a dit qu'il va réduire les coûts pour les médicaments. Et ce qu'elle a fait, elle a continué de laisser les grandes compagnies pharmaceutiques de charger beaucoup d'argent. Donc, elle dit une chose, elle fait l'autre. Et la raison, c'est qu'elle travaille pour les plus riches. Quand les plus riches ont demandé d'aide, elle a dit oui, je vous donne 14 milliards de dollars dans la dernière automne, dans l'automne. Donc, pour les plus riches, elle travaille très vite. Comme un Scheer a demandé d'avoir un pipeline, elle a dit oui, je vais vous en acheter un pipeline. Mais pour les gens qui ont besoin des actions concrètes pour lutter contre la crise climatique, pour les gens qui disent on a besoin d'investissement dans les soins de santé, il dit non. Il dit oui aux plus riches et non aux gens. Et pour moi, c'est clair, ce n'est pas ça un parti progressiste.
Hi, Mr. Singh, Hannah Thibodeau, CBC National News. Hi. When we started this campaign, there was a lot of talk of Bill 21, how it would affect you because you wear the turban and carry the curpen. There was a gentleman who suggested that if you cut off your turban, it would help. Do you find, though, now that people in Quebec are starting to see past the turban?
I should say, I've always saw that in Quebec, and sometimes that's not always captured. We had an event at Place des Arts in Montreal, and the number of times people came up to me, francophones and anglophones, that said they love the turban, they like the color I was wearing. I should wear that color more often because I got a lot of compliments on it. I think it was like a pinkish color. I think I'm wearing one again, actually. You can't really see your own turban sometimes, so it's kind of confusing. Right? I gotta have a mirror, I guess, to check it. No, but I receive a lot of love, and I'm really, when I said that in the beginning of my speech in French, I'm thankful for the reception that I've received, the fact that Quebecers have listened to what I've had to say. I've always received an incredible experience every time I've come to Quebec. There is definitely a spirit of openness that that gets ignored sometimes because of the talk of Bill 21. There is a really strong spirit of openness, and I've always received just a lot of love, and I'm really inspired by that, and I'm humbled by that. But I certainly believe things have changed throughout the campaign. I think as I've been able to talk about my values, it's gone beyond just the appearances, and people are like, you know what, he actually does share our values. And I'm proud of that because campaigns should matter, and it does matter, and I've seen the change. Quebecers are saying, you know what, this is a guy that sounds just like us, he talks like us, his French isn't that bad. But more importantly, he's got the same values. He believes in the rights of women. He believes in the rights of the LGBTQ, the right to die with dignity. Quebec is a leader in that field. It's a tough field, but people here in Quebec understand the importance of that right, and they're seeing in me someone that understands their values and shares those values.
Do you think that will translate into seats? Because at the beginning, sorry, Mr. Boulerice, but we were saying things like you could potentially be wiped out in Quebec. Do you think it will translate into seats as well, that people are seeing past that now?
Yes. I do. I think it'll translate into the support that we're receiving on the ground is going to translate into support at the polls, and I'm confident that people will see that we will fight for them. We care about them. We share the values of Quebecers, and we're going to make sure that they can count on us to fight for them in the next parliament. No matter what the parliament looks like, I want folks to know that I will be there for them, our team will be there for them, and we're going to make sure that they have us on their side. I think Christian would say that in French. That was good stuff. Okay, ask that in French too. That's good. No, you can finish up and then do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean to direct you, but I don't want to throw you off your flow.
Just talking about that, no matter what the parliament looks like, you will be there for Quebecers. What
Yeah.
would be the top priority, whether you became Prime Minister or if you were part of coalition or part of minority, the first priority for Quebecers?
The environment is really clear for Quebecers. They care deeply and passionately. There's a really strong connection with les régions, the regions, They have a deep connection with the environment, and there's a reason why it's such an important issue here in Quebec. And so that's something that we're really proud of. We've got a strong offer for Quebec, and it respects that how important that is to the people of Quebec. Oui, you know?
Oui, oui, certainement. Ben, vous parliez du...
Sorry, I don't want to be unfair. Do you want to... On peut retourner ou qu'est-ce qu'on veut faire?
Let's go ahead with Robin.
Okay. Sorry, Robin. You need to
Robin
catch
Gill with Global National. As your campaign winds down here in Quebec and you've had time to reflect on it, in 2011 the New Democrats really established a presence here. It's 2019, and as Hannah mentioned, you could be wiped out. How did it get to this situation for your party here in Quebec in 2019?
So I don't want to make it sound like I accepted that frame. I think that that's not the case at all. We're not in any fear of that happening. We've got an incredible team and a strong base, and a base of support that shows that people really believe in us, and we're going to continue to fight hard. There is a lot that we've done in this campaign that was different than the previous campaign that shows how important we take the issues of Quebec. We announced a plan specifically for Quebec, something that Jack did, and that we wanted to bring back that hadn't been done in a little bit of time. And so we wanted to bring that back, show Quebecers that not only are we going to fight for you, but we've got a specific plan that responds to unique things that matter to the people of Quebec. Environmental evaluations, the rights to control culture, because culture is so important. So spending when it comes to the Quebec culture and music and arts, making sure that the federal money goes to allowing Quebec to basically to direct and to allocate those funds the way they see most appropriate, given Quebec's unique identity. I'm really proud of that. And so we've put forward a unique offer. We've got a lot of support. There's a base of support that exists, and we're going to build on that.
I'm Mr. Singh, Janice Dixon, Globe and Mail. Good morning.
You look cold.
Yeah, it's a little chilly. The Manning Center is not disclosing the source of its contributions that it's made to third-party groups that are attacking the Liberals. Do you think that they should have to disclose the source of the money that they've received?
Yeah, I believe in transparency. My values are that more transparency helps, and it's important. And particularly with third party, there's concerns around where third party ads come from and the financing. So I think it's a fair question that's being asked, and I look forward to journalists like yourself doing the great work to get to the bottom of it.
And this morning, Mr. Trudeau said that we could wake up, or Canada could wake up, with a sheer government, and called the Tory campaign, what did he, can't recall, dirty, sorry. He called it a dirty campaign. I'm just wondering if you share that view.
Well, I believe campaigns should be respectful, and we should be able to have differences of opinions and express those differences passionately, but in a respectful manner. So that's what I believe in. I'm not sure. I haven't really made the evaluation between this election and others clearly to see if this was worse than others. But I think that's something we should all strive for. We can disagree, we can have different opinions, but we should all agree to do it respectfully, but also to do it in a way that doesn't divide the population purposefully. We can have different opinions, and we can still seek to bring people together. But I also want to push back. Do not vote out of fear. And don't let Mr. Trudeau encourage you to vote out of fear.
Yeah.
Nothing in life, nothing good in life comes from making a decision out of fear. If you want something bold, if you want to see someone fight for you, vote with your heart, vote with hope, vote for what you believe in. I believe that is how you should always vote, and that's how we make big things happen.
Bravo.
Teresa Wright from the Canadian Press. Just picking up on that point in terms of the campaign, a lot of people predicted that this would be a really very dirty campaign or very divisive. How have you found it?
Yeah, I haven't really, I haven't compared it thoroughly. I've kind of been in the campaign, so it's hard to kind of step out and compare it to other campaigns. There's been moments which I think have been troubling. Well, when it came to light that Mr. Trudeau had done blackface lots of times, that was something very troubling. I think it hurt a lot of people. So there's been moments that have been, I think, hurtful and hard to deal with for people. but there's been moments of lots of hope. There's been lots of excitement. There's been people that have seen a real alternative, I think, with the New Democrats. They've seen our leadership, and really they've seen our campaign focus on people. While others focus on, Mr. Trudeau seems to be focusing either on me or Mr. Scheer, I've been focusing on people. And I think that's what people are looking at as, that's what campaigns should be about. It should be about what people are going through and how we can make their lives better. And I think that's something that I'm really proud of, and I think that's something that campaigns should continue to do.
There's a lot of talk today about Jack Layton, invoking his name a lot, especially when you're trying to appeal to Quebec voters and across the country. Does this mean that you don't feel that you're resonating enough as a leader, that you're having to draw upon Jack Layton's name?
No, I think it's always important to remember the roots and honor those roots. And I think Jack did something really amazing, and I'm proud of that. And I'm proud to be able to continue his legacy. And I don't think that it's in any way, I don't take it personally. I think it's important to acknowledge that he did some amazing things. In a lot of ways, he did some things better than me, and I think that's good. I think it's important to acknowledge that. He had a long time to build up an incredible movement in Quebec, and I think that's beautiful, and I want to build on that legacy.
One more question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Donc, je pense que je l'ai mal dit en anglais aussi, donc je pense peut-être que je peux le mieux dire en français. Si on évoque l'héritage de quelqu'un, ce qu'ils ont fait, ce qu'il a fait, je ne le trouve pas comme une faiblesse. Je pense que ça c'est une force. De reconnaître que les autres, les gens avant de nous ont fait de bon travail, c'est une force de reconnaître leur travail. Et je la trouve comme une force de reconnaître le travail de Jack Layton et ce qu'elle a fait. Et j'adore la rêve qu'il a lancé, en fait, la rêve de rassembler les progressistes du Québec avec le reste du Canada. C'est un rêve que j'appuie, c'est un rêve que je veux continuer.
Bravo!
It actually was better in French, and I supposedly speak better English than French, but that was better in French.
Just one more question. One of your main talking points is fighting for people.
Yes.
So how does it feel for you to now be kind of on the defensive when it comes to appealing to progressive voters?
No, we're fighting for those people. The votes will come. I think that's up to people to choose. So I'm not going to fight for their vote, but I'm going to fight for the people and let them know that we're fighting for them. Let them know that they can count on us. And I'm confident that the progressives of Quebec will see in us their champions. They'll see in us the folks that get what they're going through and that have real values and real solutions that will address what they're going through. So yeah, we're fighting for the people always.
Bonjour, M. Singh, Pierre Saint-Arnaud de la presse canadienne.
Bonjour.
La dualité canadienne devant vous.
Oh,
Vous avez mentionné que le Bloc n'est pas progressiste en vous référant aux propos de candidats qui ont été tenus. Est-ce que vous associez les propos tenus par ces candidats-là à l'ensemble de la formation politique?
Je pense que pour chaque parti, c'est leur responsabilité et leur candidat. Et c'est la responsabilité du chef de donner la direction. Donc oui, ça va soulever de temps en temps des candidats qui ont dit des choses qui ne sont pas acceptables. Mais c'est la responsabilité du parti et du chef de montrer si c'est acceptable ou non. Donc ce qu'on a vu avec les révélations et puis les réponses, ce n'était pas la réponse d'une partie qui est vraiment progressiste. Et ça, c'est quelque chose qu'on peut montrer. Et si on veut bâtir une meilleure société, un meilleur pays, c'est nous, les néo-démocrates, qui ont la capacité de travailler avec les progressistes, de rassembler les progressistes du Canada avec les progressistes du Québec pour ensemble faire de mieux.
Je vais être sûr de bien comprendre. Je vais vous poser la question très clairement. Oui. Est-ce que vous reprochez au Bloc d'être xénophobe?
En fait, je pense que comment ils ont agi, c'était la bonne façon d'agir. Donc, c'était le genre de décider oui ou non, est-ce qu'ils sont xénophobes ou non, mais je peux dire clairement que ce n'était pas la belle approche. Ce qu'ils ont pris, ce n'était pas la belle approche, la bonne approche.
Bonjour, M. Singh, Christian Lorraine. Dans votre plateforme sur le Québec, vous voulez taxer les géants du web.
Oui.
Il a redonné la culture. Vous voulez permettre aux gens au Québec de dire non aux pipelines s'ils le veulent. Vous voulez appliquer la loi 101 aux entreprises fédérales. Ce sont les mêmes promesses que font que fait le Bloc québécois. Donc, en quoi est-ce que vous êtes vraiment différent du Bloc? En quoi est-ce que vous êtes plus progressiste que le Bloc puisque vous offrez les mêmes choses pour le Québec que le Bloc?
Donc, en matière de soins dentaires et en matière de l'assurance publique, l'assurance médicaments publics, ce qu'on propose, c'est de rassembler la puissance, d'utiliser la puissance de 37 millions Canadiennes. Ensemble, on peut réduire les coûts pour les médicaments et ça va vraiment sauver l'argent pour les Québécois et Québécoises. On a un système universel au Québec, mais ce n'est pas un système public. Avec le système public, on peut réduire les coûts, ça peut aider du monde. J'ai rencontré quelqu'un qui travaille dans une épicerie et il m'a expliqué la situation au Québec. Oui, il a l'assurance médicaments, mais parce que les privés, ça coûte une grande partie, ça prend une grande partie de son salaire et c'est difficile. Donc, ce qu'on propose va aider du monde. On est prêt de faire face aux compagnies de télécommunications pour réduire les coûts des services cellulaires et Internet. C'est quelque chose qu'on est prêt de faire. On peut aussi, avec les soins dentaires, c'est un programme fédéral qu'on propose, un programme qui va aider 4 millions de Canadiens et Canadiennes pour avoir les services dentaires. Et c'est un service c'est un programme comme l'assurance emploi. C'est une assurance publique fédérale qui va tout de suite aider du monde. Donc, ce qu'on propose aussi pour faire face à la crise climatique, pour faire des gains, il faut travailler avec le reste du Canada. Et la réalité, c'est le Bloc, ils ont dit eux-mêmes qu'ils ne veulent pas et ils ne peuvent pas travailler avec les autres. On peut.
Dernière question.
Oui.
Hey, back one. Just want to kind of come back to what I was asking
Sure.
to see if there's anything more specific you can give. If you were to win and become prime minister, or if you were in a coalition or minority, what would be the first thing? Like, is there something specific? I know you said climate, but is there something specific that you would say, this would be the first thing I'd push for Quebec?
Well, I mean, we've got a whole plan for Quebec, and so it's hard to find what like that plan speaks. So the values that matter most to Quebec, from speaking to people on the ground, is the environment. So some of the key steps we take when it comes to the environment, generally, is to end fossil fuel subsidies and invest that into clean energy. That's one massive step. We would also specifically assure Quebec that there would be no pipelines imposed on Quebec. I think that's a specific commitment to Quebec and a general commitment that helps out Quebec and Canada and the world to end fossil fuel subsidies. Those are two really concrete things that we would do that speak directly to a concern that I hear. And I think defending the language and the culture is something that's really important to me. Personally, I feel that learning French has given me a richness in my life, that has given me a beautiful gift, and I want to make sure that language is strong in Quebec and across Canada. So changes to the law on official languages, and to increase funding to help new arrivals or new immigrants to Canada, to Quebec, with French courses, are some of the specific things to protect, and to make sure that there's a equal playing field when it comes to taxing the web giants, are all ways to protect the culture of Canada also, but specifically Quebec. Merci beaucoup. Thank you, everybody. Merci tout le monde. Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Parce que français, là, ça me dit.